Hello students, welcome in this lecture. So today we will start classification of data structure. This is the topic first unit of data structure CS 303. So our unit name is Introduction to Data Structure and its topic is classification of data structure. This is the lecture number 3 of this session of data structure. So welcome to all of you. So we start this lecture. So first of all, talk about outlines. What are outlines we will discuss in this lecture? So all these points we have to discuss, like prerequisite of this topic, and then objective of this lecture, a whole scenario of the classification of data structure, and then in a classification we talk about primitive data structure and also come to the primitive and non-primitive data structure. Okay, so this is the thing we talk about, and then come to the non-primitive data structure. After that, student effective learning outcome. This is the important thing. Actually, this is called SELO. So before learning outcome, I explain you what are SELO of this topic. Student effective learning outcome means that student how to how to affect the learning outcome to the students. So some of them are there. So I discuss with you learning outcome and then research scope of that topic and reference we are using for this lecture. So prerequisite of that, this is the fundamental concept like data information you have to know about that, and then basic knowledge of data structure. In my previous lecture I define you what is data information, and all these things are prerequisite for this lecture. Okay, so this is the lecture number third. So previous two lecture you can see where I discuss with you data information and also what is data structure, why we need data structure. So all these things are prerequisite. The fundamental concept of the mathematics are clear. So this is necessary in all the lectures where mathematics should be fundamental mathematics concept. We have to clear about it, because in a data structure most of the time we will use numerical mathematical concept. We have to use it. So that's why this is the need of each and every lecture, that is called concept of mathematics. So but what object of this topic? Classification of data structure. Understand and remember the term data structure. You have to totally have to clear that about what is the data structure. Introduction to some data structures. For example, I talk about all the different type of data structure like primitive or non-primitive data structures. So all these things we have to discuss, and then after all the data structure, various data structure, and we will discuss some introduction of all the primitive and non-primitive data structure. So this is the whole objective of this lecture. So first of all, this is the diagram for that. You can see by this diagram, classification of data structure means that we have to divide a data structure actually in two parts: primitive data structure, non-primitive data structure. Okay, so you know about the data structure. Data structure, it's a logical organization of data. It's not physical organization. It's a logical organization of data in our computer memory. So how data can be stored in a memory? So there is some organization of data. So we logically divided. We have to divide it. We have to organize data in different manners. So divided in two things. First one is primitive data structure. Second one non-primitive. Okay. So primitive means that some primary data structures are there. Primary data structure where we can store data. So generally we use integer type data. We can store a variable. In a variable we can store integer data, float data, character data, and pointer type data. Pointer just like an address. Pointer type data means that we can store an address in a particular variable. So these data structure are also called a primary data structures. Okay. So by this primary data structures we can form a non-primitive data structures. So data non-primitive data structure required these primary data structure, because by this we can form these type of data structure like array. So array, what means of array? It's a collection of different type of data. sorry, same type of data, like a collection of integer, collection of float, collection of character. So this is called array. And list and files. So we talk about all these. So I just give some names of their and introductory part, and then in next slide I elaborate to you what is array, list, and files. So this is the just classification graph, just classification picture is there, and list also we can classify. So list is just like a connector all the data to each other, but in different manner. Like you can see linear list, non-linear list. In a non-linear we divided graph and tree, and linear is called stack and queue. So we can divide it. Okay. So next slide I explain you one by one all these things we have to discuss is about the classification. So classification of data structure, actually first one is primitive. So I just give some brief introduction all this, because in detail we will learn in next lecture. So first just give I simple idea about the primitive. So primitive data structure, all of you know about in the C language or C plus, all of you learn this subject. So in this subject, you know primitive data structure. So these are primary data structure like float, where we use decimal fractional part also we can include it, like a equal to 3.5, a equal to 3.5. So this is also a float type. Integer, where we can't have a decimal places, means the decimal places we are not using into the integer type data. Character, we can store just like a symbol or some characters like b, f, r, and dot, comma, dash, white space also. Okay, so all these are character are there. So character, they can store in a memory. So management of that character, it means that float type data occupy some space into the memory. Integer type data also occupy some space in memory. Character type also. And pointer type, it's a different type of data structure, primitive data structure, where represent storage location in memory. So pointer, it can store not a value, it can store an address of that particular value, not store a value. So all these primary data structure, they can store a value, but pointer, it can store an address of that particular value. So it's stored a location. And here we use SELO actually. So student effective learning outcome. So SELO we use first and third. At last in my lecture, I include SELO. So I have referred here first and third SELO. So student effective learning outcome. So what will be learning outcome after of this slide? So that is the first and third I include at end of the lecture. So reference one. So R1 means that reference one, first book we have referred, that is called R1. I also include a reference book in this lecture. So you can see by this SELON reference. Is that okay? And then come to the non-primitive data structure. So generally many of the language defining our own data type. So like array, like stack, like queue, and different type of data they can form. So these type of data structure are called non-primitive type data structure. Okay, so they are derived from the primitive data structure. They are derived from the, actually some primitive data structure can form a non-primitive data structure. So it emphasizes the structuring of a group of homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. It means that non-primitive data, it's a collection of some values. It's a structure. We have multiple value can stored in a non-primitive data structures like array. So it's a collection of homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous means that same type of data it can store, or heterogeneous, it means that different type of data it can also store. So homogeneous or heterogeneous, both type of data it can emphasize, it can store to structuring non-primitive type data structures. So there are some example of that, like array, but it's a collection of homogeneous. Linked list also, files, we have files, stack, queue, tree, and graph. So all these are user defined. Actually, user defined own data type. So these are own data type. It can be defined by the user or programmer. So that's why these are called non-primitive data structure. So next one, I elaborate you one by one all the data structures like array, linked list, file, stack, queue, tree, graph. All the just a brief introduction. In this unit, just a brief introduction of the data structure. And next unit, we will elaborate one by one in detail. Like first one is array, come to the array. Second one linked list. Then after come to the stack, then queue, then tree, then at last graph. So this is the whole subject. Actually collection of all non-primitive data structures. So we will study uh, in a detail. So all the data structure of primitive data structure or non-primitive data structure, we will work on that in detail. So first come to the array data structure. So array data structure, it's a defined as a collection of items actually. So non-primitive data structure collection of homogeneous or heterogeneous. So this is a homogeneous. Okay. So it can collection of items stored at a contiguous memory location. Contiguous means that in a contiguous, it's a one after another concept. Like that, 2.1. This is the first value. 4.2. So all the homogeneous data element, all the homogeneous, and all the element stored in a contiguous memory location. Like 2.1 is stored at the location of 1, then next element stored will be at location of 2, and next element is stored in a location of 3. So all the element is stored in a contiguous memory location. So this is called contiguous memory location. So in an array, this is the array, this is the X, it's the array name, it's a name of all the elements. So this is the array data structure. How can access all element? So by using its index value. So subscript like that. So subscript like that, by which we can subscript 1, by which we can access this value, subscript 2, by which we can access this value, this value, and this value. So I am writing here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But by default, its subscript value start with the 0. By default, first element subscript value 0. So this is the how many values are there? Total 7 values stored in a particular variable. So this is actually one dimensional because we have only one row. Okay, so this is called one dimension. Multiple columns are there, but this is the one row. And another way you can see, just like in a table, multiple row and multiple column. Multiple row 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So multiple row and multiple columns are there. So this is called two-dimensional array. It's a name of array name X, where we have two subscript, column subscript or row subscript. So by this you can access the element. Here you can see one dimension by using one subscript, like 4, you can access that value. But here in two dimension, you have to know about the two subscript, row and column. Suppose row subscript is 1. Suppose row subscript 1, column script 2. So 1 and column script 2. So this is the 4 value you can access. So we will also discuss in detail, no problem, and number of operations are performed on the array data structure. So this is just a brief introduction of the array data structure. Next one, come to the linked list data structure. So linked list, it's a very useful data structure. Most of the time, this type of data structure used by the user to store, to manage data in a computer memory. So this is the important thing. So linked list is an abstract data type which always represent a countable number of ordered values actually. So in that we have to just countable number of element. Countable means that it's a start and it will be a end will be there. So we have to define two things. First one is start and second one is end value, we have to define it. So it's a countable number is there. In that linked list, each and every element, we have two parts. First one is value and second one is address. Two things are there. This is the node. This is also called a node. This is the first value. So it's a value and it has an address of the next element. So this is the arrow for the link. Link is a address of that element, and that element also have a value, and it have an also an address of next element, and this is also an address of next element, and it has no address of next element. So this is the indication of AND. Here your linked list will be ended. Okay, so each and every node divided in two parts. First one, information field, this is the value. Second one, link field, this is the pointer field. Okay, so this is the linear linked list. Okay, and first element, so this element actually have an address of this element, but this element address contain also in a particular variable that is called head. Head, just like we have to define a variable, so head contain an address of the first element. Is that okay? So this is whole thing. By this, all the element connected to each other in a by using a link, by using a address. So each and every element have an address of next element. So teacher have an address of principal, and student have an address of teacher. So this is the hierarchy, just like that you can see. A student can connected with the teacher connected with the principal, and principal connected with the manager or your director of the institute. So it can be connected with that. Next one, file data structure. All of you know about the file actually. So file, just like it contain information. It's a permanent information. It can be stored in a file like in a hard disk or floppy disk or any other secondary storage devices which can be used to store the file. So file data structure just for the store all the information in a file. Okay, so for the permanent purpose, wherever we need, you can again access that particular file. So file can be have three parts. So this is the file name, welcome.txt. So first one is file name. This is the separated with the separator, dot separator should be used, and thereafter this is the important, this is the extension name. Extension name actually recognize that it is a recognition of that particular file. So that file .txt, it means that is the text file. If .pdf, so it's a PDF file. .doc means the document file. .ppt means that PPT presentation file. So by this extension, you can recognize that in which software this file is developed. Okay, so this is important thing of the extension name. So extension name most of the time it's a 3 character. Okay, so in other language also expand of this extension, like in a Python programming language you can see, in a Python programming language you can see text .txt .ipynb. So extension also increase it. Stack data structure. So stack is a basic data structure. It's a defined as an ordered collection of element. It's a collection of different type of things. Okay, so it can also store different type of element, or it can contain different type of element, but there is some restriction is there. It actually follow, stack also follow first in last out process. Which element insert first, so it can be out from it at last. So this is concept of the FILO. So there are some operation on basic on structure we talk about in next lecture. So but just a brief introduction. Push function used to insert an element into the stack. Pop operation, it's a just delete element from the stack. So whenever you insert any element push, so first time that element is stored at the bottom, and next element on, and then again, then third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth element. Okay, whenever you delete, so your top element will be deleted. Which element on top of the position of the stack, so that element will be delete from the stack. So this is the pop operation and push operation. Queue. So queue, it's actually this is the concept of FIFO, first in first out. Like in stack, you can see in a stack first and last out operation is there. Here queue we have to use what is the FIFO, first in first out, we have to use it. So first in first out type of data structure we have to use in that case. Okay, so this is the FIFO. We can insert an element in a queue from the rear and and delete an element from the front end only. So in a queue, we can, whenever you insert an element, so this is the rear end where you can insert, where from where you can insert an element. This is the rear point, and at at which end, on which end, from there we can delete an element. This is called front end. So there are two ends in the queue. So queue just like work in the first in first out. Which element insert first, so it will be deleted from the queue firstly. So second time that element is inserted, and second time it will be deleted. So first in first out process will be applied in the queue. Graph. So this is also a non-linear and non-primitive. Non-linear. Why non-linear? Because all the elements not stored in a contiguous memory location. So that's why this is the non-linear. Non-primitive, because this is formed by using the primary data structure. So that's why this is non-primitive type data structure. This is a graph. Graph, different type of graph we can see in this graph data structure, like connected graph, non-connected graph, directed graph, non-directed. Connected graph means that graph is connected to each and every. This is a node. So each node connected with other node, and there is no free connection is there. Okay, so all the nodes are connected. So this is the connected graph. Non-connected graph means that some like that I delete this edge from here. So this one not here. So it can be, this is a non-connected graph. Director, here is define some direction from C to D. We can traverse from C node to E node. So this is the direction, given direction is here. C to D node. So this is the direction here. So this is the directed graph. If direction is not there, so this is called non-directed graph. So it's a very important graph data structure. And last is the tree data structure. So this is also called non-linear, non-primitive data structure. This come to in this category, and this is the just a hierarchical relationship between the data and elements. Actually, this is the hierarchical relation. Like that, at top of the element, this is called root. It's a parent node, and in the parent node, we have to connected other node with that, like left side and right side. So these are called child. So B and C child node of A, D, E, F, these are child node of B, and G, H, I, these are child node of C. So this is just like a hierarchy relationship of the node. So we will discuss also. This is the left child. So this is whole thing. This is the whole part. This is the left child of that root node A, right child of the root node of A, and these are child of C. So we can see root node, child node, and sub child node. So all these cards. So we can say these are sibling. D, E, and F. These are sibling because its parent is same. So these are called sibling. So many terms are there in tree data structure. And also we work on the refinement of tree data structure. Like that, here you can see we have three subchild. Okay, three childs are there. But in a refinement, we work on that binary tree, binary search tree, AVL tree, B plus tree. So many of the refinement of tree data structures are there. So finally, I talk about SELO. So what are SELO we will use in this lecture? Like ability to interpret and analyze data into information. So we can analyze data information. So you just an ability by this lecture. You can differentiate. You can analyze the data and information also. Ability to solve problems through application, theoretical and practical concept. Just like a practical concept, like an array, how can store data, how can traverse the data. So practically approach we will use for that, and you can learn it. But in this lecture, I just give you some brief introduction about this. Ability to observe and develop sense making, logical skills, and abstract concepts. So just like some logical thinking is there, like in a tree. It's a tree just like a hierarchical relationship. So how can sense it? How can logical thinking is there? How can access all the element by this? So we can work on that. So just a brief introduction of this SELO. Learning outcome of this lecture is So need a basic data structure, you learn that. Working of primitive data structure, working of non-primitive data structure. So primary data structure, int, float, character, and pointer, all the primitive. So how they are working, so you can learn it. So and non-primitive like tree, graph, linked list. So all the working I tell you, so you can understand that. Real life example printed this one. So real life example like that, different things we have talking about. So how can work it? So in a tree, like just like I have given an example, like that in a tree, just like a institute where topmost managing director is there, then some directors are there, and then director in the director number of principals of the, or the of different schools are there, and then teacher faculty members also include in that. So this is the hierarchical thing out there. Is that okay? Research scope also related with the role of data structure, multiple disciplines, organize process data using various data structures, and research scope in data process, data validation. So these are in this lecture in the data structures. So all these things are research scope are same in all the lectures. Most probably these are same thing. We will repeat it again and again because of multiple disciplines also use data structure, and organizing processing of data. This is things also done in each and every lecture, and also data validation and processing also work in the research scope. Reference book, Tannerbaum, you have to use it for the data structure. So this is the best book to refer for the referring. You can see and learn from this book. So this is the, I think, better to better, and other material is there also, you can see it. But from my side, this one is best book. So I think, thank you so much. Thanks a lot to all of you. You have patience and learn me carefully and patiently. So so all of you think about it. Different type of data structures you have to think it. Your skill should be there. You can think it. And my lecture will be based on. So my next lecture will be there, by which we can work on that, like memory allocation. How can allocate memory for the data structure, and then come to the first linear data structure, that is called array. So what is array data structure, and different type of operation we can perform on the array data structure. So in my next lecture, so wait for it. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot.